Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that we often whisper about, but rarely look at head on what it's really like to turn 80. Let's get into the unspoken truths of this incredible journey.
We hear all the advice, right? Eat your vegetables, go for a walk. And it's all great advice. But this quote, it really gets to the heart of it. It admits that no matter how perfectly you play the game, turning 80 introduces a whole new level. It's not that you've done anything wrong, it's just a new chapter with a totally different script.
So, people who have lived it say there are about 6 major shifts that really define this decade. We're going to walk through each one, not with fear, but with a bit of honest curiosity, because really, knowing what might be around the corner is the best way to navigate it with a little grace.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to cover the social side of things, the physical, the mental, even the spiritual stuff that comes with hitting this amazing milestone. And you'll see, these aren't just hurdles to get over. They're revelations that can change your life in some really profound ways. All right, so the very first truth is all about your world, your social life. Because at 80, the landscape of your relationships, well, it starts to look very, very different.
And this one's tough. The phone just doesn't ring as much. Friends you've had your whole life might be gone or they've moved away. And your family, as much as you adore them, they're often wrapped up in the chaos of their own lives. That quiet in the house can shift from being peaceful to feeling, well, pretty constant. And loneliness can suddenly become a very real thing.
But here's the beautiful flip side to that. While that circle of friends gets smaller, your appreciation for the people who are in it grows in a way you can't even imagine. You stop needing many friends and you start deeply, truly valuing the precious few. It's a huge shift from quantity to quality. Okay, let's move on to revelation number 2. This is about those very real, impossible to ignore physical changes. After 80 years, your body starts talking to you in a brand new way. It usually starts as just a whisper, but it can get louder. You know, the little aches that used to disappear after a day or two? Now they decide they want to stick around. Your balance might feel a little wobbly. And simple things like opening a jar or getting up from a chair, they suddenly take a lot more thought and a lot more effort. And yeah, it can be incredibly frustrating. And this is so, so important to remember. This is not you failing. Not at all. It's just biology. Your body isn't giving up on you. It's just asking you to slow down a bit, to listen a little more closely, and maybe treat it with a kind of gentleness you never really needed before. All right, number 3. This is a big one, and it can be a really sensitive topic: memory. After 80 years of collecting names, faces, stories, and experiences, let's just say the brain's filing system can get a little quirky. And we're talking about those common little slips. You know the feeling, you walk into the kitchen with purpose, and then total blank. Or you call your grandson by his dad's name, or you find yourself launching into a great story you already told 5 minutes ago. They seem small, but these moments can feel really unsettling. Which, of course, leads to the big, scary question that pops into everyone's head when this starts happening. Is this it? Is this the beginning of something much more serious? And the answer, thankfully, is not necessarily. Think of it this way. Your brain is a massive library with 80 years worth of books on the shelves. It's not that the books are gone. It just takes the librarian a little longer to find the exact one you're looking for. Your brain isn't broken. It's just full. The trick is to keep that librarian busy, you know? Keep reading, keep learning, stay curious.
Now for our 4th revelation, and honestly, this one might be one of the best parts of turning 80. I'm talking about the emergence of your true, completely unfiltered self.
This is an absolute game changer. For decades, you worry about what people think, you try to fit in, you bite your tongue, and then somewhere around 80, you just stop. All that energy you used to spend on managing other people's perceptions, it's suddenly all yours again. And that change is just so powerful. Before 80, life can feel like you're always chasing approval, putting on a happy face, saying yes when you desperately want to say no. But at 80, you get real. You say what you actually mean. You do what actually matters to you. It's not about being rude, not at all. It's about finally, completely being yourself. So, the 5th truth we're talking about is how the whole structure of your day changes. Spontaneity is great when you're young, but at 80 it takes a back seat to something that becomes way more important: rhythm. At this point in life, your body just craves predictability. Your digestion is a little more sensitive, sleep can be harder to come by.
So these routines around when you eat, when you sleep, when you rest, they become the pillars of your day. They give you a real sense of control and stability.
We could almost call it the rhythm of 80. To someone younger, it might look, well, boring. Waking up at the same time, eating the same breakfast, sitting in the same chair. But from the inside, that routine is a source of incredible comfort and peace. A good day isn't about excitement anymore. It's about a deep, quiet sense of stability.
And that brings us to our final revelation. This is maybe the most profound one of all. At 80, your relationship with time, with your own mortality, it just shifts. What a powerful way to put it. By this age, you've probably had to say goodbye to a lot of people you love. Death isn't some abstract idea you read about in a book anymore. It's right there, a tangible presence. And what's interesting is, for many, it's not necessarily scary. It's just real. And that reality brings a whole new kind of focus and clarity to your days. This new reality makes you start thinking about legacy. The questions you ask yourself change completely. It's less about what can I get and more about what am I leaving behind? What are the stories people will tell? Did I say I love you enough? Suddenly, finding that emotional peace becomes just as vital as your physical health, if not more so. So in the end, yeah, the challenges of being 80 are absolutely real. The loneliness, the aches and pains, the memory slips. But woven into all of that are these incredible gifts. The freedom to be yourself, the comfort of a peaceful rhythm, and a clarity you can only get when you're looking at the horizon head on. And that leaves all of us, no matter how old we are, with one last thing to think about. When all is said and done, it's the stories we lived and the love we leave behind that really matter.